Let's get back to our question of how we prove this property of rotate, how we prove that map followed by reverse is the same as reverse followed by map. Now, if we've got a goal like this, there are two options really for trying to tackle a goal of this sort. We can just start by trying to tackle it head on and just start by trying to prove that property. Now, what we might find is we get to a certain point and then we get stuck because there are some other things that we might need to prove. Now, we know that reverse is defined using plus plus, for example, and so if reverse is defined using plus plus, we may find that somehow we get to a point where we're using plus plus and we're not able to make the two sides of a particular goal equal. So another approach is to say, well, what might help us prove this? And we might realize that one thing that it will be useful to know is that if we join two lists together and perform a map, it's the same as performing the map separately and then joining the results together. And so what we might do is prove these simpler results, or what look simpler results, first, and then using those get to our main goal. Now, does this dichotomy look familiar? It should do in a way, because it's the sort of strategy we have when we're thinking about programs. We can start by trying to program a goal directly in a top-down way, and then if we need, we find we need some other functions, we think, well, okay, we'll define that, and that will help us get to our goal. That's what you might call a top-down. You start by tackling the goal, and then you solve smaller problems on the way. The other one is to start thinking, well, okay, I'm trying to solve this problem. What would be useful steps towards solving that problem? And that's really a bottom-up approach. So we try and solve some simpler problems that we know will be helpful, or we hope will be helpful, and then solve those first. Now, typically in practice, we don't do either of those. We do a mixture of the two. But I think it's important to realize that the strategies we have for proof are very like the strategies we have for defining programs, for programming. So if we follow the second option, what we would try and do is, our overall goal is showing that reverse and map can be in either order, but let's show that we can do map and joining two lists together in either order, as it were. Do the join and then the map, or do the maps and then the join, we get the same result. And I've just put out the definitions of reverse and a map here, and a reminder that reverse uses plus plus in its definition. So this is what we should set out to prove, and we'll do that in the next segment.